Hey y'all, welcome back to the Brandon Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandon Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This particular video, we are talking about Ohm's Love and Marriage Detroit. This is season 2, episode 3. I think it was titled All About the Opps. Before we get into it, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, share the content where you like to share your content, turn on the bell notifications. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think of this season 2 of Love and Marriage Detroit. Are you watching it? I know some people said they're not watching it, but they're enjoying the reviews. I appreciate that too. You ain't got to watch it because I'm watching it for you. I will say this season is better than the first season. I'll say that. But y'all let me know. Do y'all agree? Do you think this season is better for Love and Marriage Detroit? I hope they move this storyline along because I'm tired of this like we hate Kristina thing. But let's get into the episode. So it's gonna be a quick review, y'all, because I gotta go to bed. Okay. This is the last week before fall break. Thank you, God. Anyway, so this episode it starts off with Anthony. I was like, where did they start? Anthony and Kristina going out to eat because Anthony wanted to check up on his girl, Kristina. Sure. So he wanted to check on Kristina because he heard about her, her and Brandon headed to the courthouse for a divorce. So, he was like, yeah, Brandon, I met up with him at the Man's Movement. Mind you, it was afterwards, but sure. And he said, Brandon told me I was going through some things. So I just wanted to check on you. And then she's like, she don't know if she should trust Anthony, not Brandon. She should trust Anthony or not. Like, is he just trying to be nosy? Is he really concerned? He trying to be nosy, girl. So she said, yeah, we're going through some things, but God gonna fix it. We gonna be good. And so he said he wanted to move forward. He wanted to extend the olive branch. You know how they say. And so then she, brings up everything that Dr. Latoya and him have said about her about being a liar and being fake and all this stuff. And so Anthony's like, I never said you were fake. I said you were a liar, but I didn't say you were fake. So then she's like, you also brought the ops over, Kimberly, over to the anniversary dinner at District 30. Is that what it's called? Bravo's place. So he was like, the ops. And so he was like, yeah, you guys know, why did Dr. Latoya bring Kimberly? She knows that me and Kimberly don't get along. And so Anthony's like, well, if you really think that, you need to ask her about that. Like, he's basically saying he don't, agree with that kind of thing. Don't need to be any drama or things like that. He also said in his confessional that now Anthony be shading the hell out of everybody, especially Kristina. He is shady. Anthony is a shady. I almost want to call him a shady lady, but he's not a lady. I ain't gonna disrespect that man. But Anthony is the shadiest person on this show. Okay. And it's actually kind of funny. So he said in the confessional that, Kristina, she from Buffalo. She don't even be doing nothing. Of course, everybody else is from Detroit, so we all know each other. Like, what are you even known for, Kristina? And everybody in this episode basically said Kristina don't do nothing. They don't know Kristina for nothing. Like, dang, y'all I hate Kristina on this show. They hate Kristina so much they make me like her more. And I was like 50-50 with Kristina last year because I could see like some of the lying and manipulation, but dang, like the way they taking it too far. Like, is she doing something behind the scenes that we missing? Like, let me know in the comments. Somebody from the show, let me know what's really going on, please. So anyway, um, so they were talking it out, and Anthony is saying, he wants him and Brandon came to common ground. He wants her and Dr. Latoya to come to common ground. And she's like, you know what? I don't know. There's been so much said, from the reunion and everything else. I don't know. Basically, she doesn't know if they can come back from everything that's been said. And she also feels like, okay, you didn't blew all this stuff up and now you want to try to fix it. And he said, no, he's trying to change. He's trying to do better. He's trying to be nosy. Okay. Anyway, so she said, we'll see, whatever. So then we see Kristina go down to Brandon mama house because she's sick and tired of her man. And she's like, let me go run to his mama and see why did she produce the type of seed she produced in Brandon. And Brandon's mama basically was like, girl, I don't know what to do with him either. Because Kristina came over there like, girl, I don't really know what to do with your son anymore. She was like, girl, don't send him back home. Matter of fact, he need to go back home with you right now. She basically said she don't know what else to do with him either. Kristina asked, were they getting along over there? Mama said he come home all hours of the night, and Kristina said that was her experience too. And Mama said he don't talk either. So, um, Christina's like, she's been trying to fight for her marriage. She doesn't know what to do. She's trying not to go into depression. She feels like she's on this vicious emotional cycle. She can't do anything. And she's, so dependent on Brandon. And, she feels like Brandon blames a lot of things on his childhood. So that's why she's going to talk to Mama. Mama said, he really be putting too much on that anyway. She's like, yeah, he did have some issues. His dad wasn't around. His dad was the same way. He didn't want to do nothing around the house. Brandon didn't want to do nothing around the house. They like, you gotta make it fun for them. Chores around the house ain't necessarily supposed to be fun. But okay. Brandon's mama was like, I just started doing everything myself because she couldn't deal with it. And so Kristina was getting all emotional. Mama said, maybe she came to talk to me because she can't go to her real mom about this and she can't talk to anyone else. And normally I would get emotional, but this time I kept it together. I didn't get emotional. Now I'm sure Kristina got other people to talk to, Mama, but okay. So anyway, so Christina's like, basically she hasn't been doing anything. She doesn't know what to do. She said, Brandon kept saying divorce, divorce, divorce. And then this time she was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and divorce him first. Now, first of all, when I heard that, I said, I wish to God Brandon would be threatening me with divorce. Because I would give it to him. I would free him and myself. Mm-mm. And so she just, Christina's just tired, waiting on things to change, waiting on things to get better, and they're not getting better. She's like, how long should I wait? Girl, you don't. That's what I told y'all. She don't have good boundaries. She didn't have good boundaries. So anyway, so she said she ran down to the courthouse to file, but then they said you got to do it online, and she couldn't file something. It didn't make sense. Child, you wasn't filing for no divorce, Kristina. So she's like, I just don't know what to do. So Mama said, because Kristina said a big part of why she hasn't left Brandon is because Brandon takes care of everything. But then Mama reminded her, like, well, you do there by yourself with the kids right now. You doing it yourself. She was like, she didn't realize she has been taking care of everything herself so far. So, Mama said the Carols are in school now, girl. When they go to school, you could be doing your own thing. You can set yourself up and do what you need to do. Mama said, I left his daddy easy because I had a job. Okay. I had my own. But she's like, you need to go out there and figure out what you need to do to take care of you. Mama basically said, girl, you better get to work or them kids are at school so you can have your own. And I'm like, Kristina, what you been doing? I thought you was an influencer, girl. Kristina, you giving Brandon too much. And I get it. It's marriage, and they've been together for 12 years. Kristina's at her wit's end. I think the only way Brandon's going to learn a lesson from this, Kristina, you're going to have to set a hard boundary. You're going to have to all the way separate, all the way divorce him. You're going to have to initiate the divorce. And maybe that's what he wants. That might be for the best for both of y'all. It's probably for the best. Anyway, so Mama, she gave her little advice, but I mean, it was good advice. So anyway, we see the Thomsons, and I may go out of order, y'all. We see the Thomsons go out for a dinner, and they're catching up with their date nights. Latoya's taking over Opulence. Well, first they're trying to do a champagne line for the Opulence wine. So shout out to the black wine owners, and the black wineries and all that, vineyards and stuff. And so she also had to take over operations for the wine company for Opulence. She always knew that Anthony one day was going to step back and have her step up for operations, but she, was scared because that was like her security blanket. But he said, he can do consulting for her. So Anthony's like, I won't tell you. I met with Kristina. She was like, on our date night, you want to talk about that? Oh, like, okay, girl. So anyway. So he talked to Latoya, Dr. Latoya, about the whole Kristina thing, and how Kristina felt like Dr. Latoya purposely brought Kimberly there to get it popping and be her poodle or pit bull or whatever kind of dog Kristina said she was. And Dr. Latoya is like, first of all, I don't get down like that. Like, I don't care. Dr. Latoya is trying to get very much unbothered, but she's bothered. And she's like, why would I do that? I don't need to bring nobody to do nothing to nobody. And so Anthony shades the hell out of Kristina again in this scene and was like, yeah, like, first of all, like, what do you do, Kristina? Like, you should be glad and happy that we bringing around people that, are doing something with their life and got something going on. And like, you should be happy we bringing these people around you in your presence. Like, what do you even have going on? I was like, damn. Okay, Anthony, sheesh. Kristina? I thought Kristina had stuff going on. She be trying to sing and dance at 5, 6, 7, 8 and be an influencer. My bad. So anyway, so again, they was talking trash on Kristina's name once again. And so Anthony wants, the ladies to move forward. He's telling Dr. Latoya, kind of like what he told Kristina. And Dr. Latoya's like, I don't care. I'll be there, but she really don't care. She really don't care. Anyway, Dr. Latoya claims she really didn't know Kristina and Kimberly had an issue. I don't fully believe that. Anyway, moving on, we do see Brandon and Russell coming over to Kristina's house for the, biblical counseling section because, Kristina wants Brandon to learn from a good, godly man. So we got Russell. And Russell's a good example for Brandon. So Russell came before Brandon got there. Russell said the way he was raised, you don't go up into a man's house without the man being there. And I'm not mad at that, Russell. Not to say that men and women can't be in the same house and, like a man can't come over here. Like, well, let me not use my house as example. Let's say a married woman, right? And a man come over there without the other man being there. Like, what if you got a repairman, right? Or the plumber or somebody? I don't know. But I get what Russell's saying. He said you don't go to another man's house without them being there. That's how he was raised. And I'm not mad at that either. So he's talking to Kristina. He said that car was a push gift. I'm assuming for Kolby and not for you. He talks about the whole baby thing and how, Kolby's not doing well. The baby's doing all that tossing and turning. And she also didn't want a girl. And all that good stuff. And it was cold outside. Russell said, you can go wait inside. I'm staying out here. Like, my wife don't play, basically. So then Brandon finally got there. They go in the house. So Russell said, let me set the tone. First of all, I am not a counselor, so don't think of this as a counseling session. I'm so glad he said that. And then try to be something he's not, right? I think this was good practice for him, though, for what he wants to do as becoming a pastor. I think this was a really good practice for Russell in giving like some form of marital counseling, right? So Russell said, okay, Kristina, what do you want to get from this? And so she said basically she wants Brandon to adopt the fruits of the spirit, patience, love, self-control, endurance, I can't remember all of them. Endurance may not be one. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head right now. But yes, they're in the Bible, or you can Google them if you don't know. So anyway, she made Brandon a little note card with the fruits of the spirit. So they was reading it. And so Russell asked Brandon, like, are you reading the word? How close do you feel to God? Are you disciplining your life? And so Brandon said he did feel like he's out of his routine, being at his mom's house. He felt like he was closer to God before he got married. He also feels that him and Kristina have grown apart spiritually as well. And so Kristina was saying, how she really wants Brandon to have those fruits of the spirit. And like I said before, if Brandon don't want to have them, that's on Brandon. You can't force him to have the fruits of the spirit. You may need to find a man who aligns better with you spiritually. And Brandon did say they've grown apart spiritually to the point where they're not even evenly yoked. And he was like, he thinking he married a nun, but you married her for sex, right? So you weren't evenly yoked to begin with, in my opinion. Anyway, you can't be spiritually up here and marry someone who's not trying to at least get to the same, or does not have the same spiritual aspirations. I should say, because my tooth starting to hurt. Everyone's different at different places with their spirituality or whatever they believe, right? Um, but you can't. I think it's not good to marry someone who's at the complete opposite end as you, right? Spiritually, to me, that's not going to work foundationally. But that's just my opinion. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Anyway, so Russell was like, okay, man, like, are you willing to put the work in? Brandon said he's been going to therapy. He knows he has a lot of work to do. He needs to work on himself, and he definitely does. Kristina says a lot of stuff he needs to do before he can get back into the house. Russell asked Brandon, who's the most disciplined person you know? And he said it was Russell. And he's like, Russell, he went to the army and got a disciplined lifestyle. I was just going to go down to the YouTube. That's not how it works, Brandon. And so he was like, okay, what do you see in me that's discipline, makes me, seem structured and disciplined. And so Brandon was saying, he didn't know how difficult marriage was going to be. There's no, he didn't know what he's going to have to do. Russell's like, nobody, comes into marriage knowing it. He's like, now what the work is. And so he was like, are you willing to, like, buckle down and really do the work? And he's like, let me give you some quick advice, brother. He was like, do whatever you got to do right now to get back into this house and this household and take care of your house. Whatever you got to do right now to fix your marriage, fix it now. He's like, cut the crap and do whatever you got to do to get back in his house right now. And I was not mad at that advice from Russell, right? I mean, Brandon, but it's good advice, but at the same time, it wasn't the best. At the same time, it was not the best advice, because I think Brandon needs to do a lot of work on self and figure out what life Brandon wants. Did he want to be in the streets? Did he want to be at home with Kristina? Like, what he trying to do, right? Like, exactly who are you trying to be and what are you trying to do? Like, let's stop making excuses. Let's stop saying I don't have an example and your daddy was this and your daddy was that. Like, let's figure out what Brandon wants to do. Now, do I think he needs to hurry up and do it and fix it? Yes, he does. So I do agree with Russell in that regard. Let's talk about Kimberly. Her singing child didn't matter. She has a company with her partner, last name Lauren Daniels, I believe it was, and they curate different events in the Detroit area, mainly events for women, at different places like, nail salons, bars, whatever. And she just is all about women empowerment and working with women and uplifting women. You know how they say. I feel like it was a good old speech, Kimberly. So anyway, what's his name? So they're having like a Christmas event and a toy drive and money giveaway for the youth coming up. And she also wants to do something with Dr. Latoya's champagne line for New Year's. So her husband, Marcellus, is it Marcellus or Marcel, came and she was telling him about the event and how she's going to invite everybody. And he's like, everybody. So meaning, the Smiths, Brandon and Kristina. So she said she's going to invite them. She don't really care if they don't come or not, because it's for the charity of it all, right? So anyway, then she brought up them having their date nights, and he said he heard her and he gonna take responsibility and he gonna make sure his wife is happy. Go ahead, Marcellus. I like him so far. Kimberly. So anywho, then let's see. Let's get to the final scene. I think we covered everything. Yes. No. We got one more scene before we get to the final scene. So Dr. Latoya, she's a physical therapist, I believe. And so she had Kolby come to like a Pilates gym to help her with some of the pain she's been having during pregnancy. So she had her doing some squats, and she said, what did she say? Motion is lotion. Like, basically, you got to keep moving to kind of like lubricate your bones and your muscles and all that. So, and she's I'm gonna make you a whole workout plan, girl. So they were talking, and Kolby was saying how she was disappointed about having another girl, and Dr. Latoya, and she didn't want, she only wanted to have 2 kids, so she didn't want to have a third. And Dr. Latoya's like, I went through the same thing. And she said, when I had my second son, I was really upset, and I had to repent and thank God that I even have a happy, healthy baby, because some people can't even conceive. And she says she blames herself for the way that her son is now, because now he's kind of quiet, shy, and reserved. And she blames herself because of, she was basically saying like how they say the emotions you felt when you were pregnant and the things you eat and drink can affect the baby, which I believe is true. And so she said she feels guilty. Like, I don't know if she said the words feel guilty, but she actually blames herself for the way her son is now, because she didn't, want a boy. She was so upset about it. And she feels like, she kind of put those negative feelings on him as a baby, and that's why he is the way he is now. And maybe that's not the way he is now, but I think it definitely affects the baby. And Kolby received that, and she felt like, it was kind of like God was trying to tell her something. And I agree with that. I definitely think she needs to get rid of those negative emotions, because you don't want to feel that baby to feel unwanted in the womb. And that's what I mean by I agree with it, right? The baby is going to feel that unwanted spirit in the womb, or feel, what if the baby feels like, dang, should I have not been born a girl, or whatever the baby might feel. So I agree. So then Kimberly, I think they kind of started talking about the whole things with Kristina, and then Kimberly came through, and Dr. Latoya is telling, Kimberly about how, Anthony wants the girls to all make up and how they want to move forward. And Kimberly is saying that, every time they try to move forward with Kristina and then there's no follow through, no follow up, she doesn't call or do anything else. And I was like, why do everybody on this show act like Kristina got the only good working iPhone? Everybody else got an Android. Like, what's going on? And there's no shade to the Android people. I'm joking off of what happened last week. But the phone worked two ways. Like, y'all can call Kristina to follow up about the friendship if it's that deep. Like, Kristina is not the only responsible person for calling, right? Anyway, I'm just like, can we move on from hating on Kristina? Like, is she just that easy of a target? Is she supposed to be that girl of the show? Like, I don't get it. So anyway, like, what is she doing that's so bad? It's got to be off camera that we're missing it. So Kimberly feels like, they can go in and talk to Kristina, but she feels like there's nothing else for her and Kristina to really talk about or move forward. So then Dr. Latoya also brings up how Kristina said Dr. Latoya brought Kimberly down to the dinner event on purpose, to get at Kristina. And Kimberly's like, first of all, I didn't even know y'all knew each other. Like, girl, what? And so Kimberly said in her confessional, like, first of all, like, I didn't talk to Dr. Latoya. Kristina's name has never came up. I don't even know her, I didn't even know they were friends. Like, check your ego, girl. Like, how flattered that you think I would think of you in that way, but I don't. Yes, you do. Is you still mad about that Android phone comment from one of her friends? You definitely are losing sleep over Kristina at night, Kimberly. You tried it. Anyway, that was that. So the final scene is when they went to play the what was the sock and bottom knocker ball, whatever it was called, child. That did look fun. And so the couples are playing against each other, trying to knock each other down. The guy said, if you fall down, you got to sit there and think about what you did. That looks fun. I would play it. So, they're having a fun, laughing, trying to knock each other down. Brandon couldn't lock down Anthony. Anthony, a big dude, so I could see why he could knock him down. Kristina was determined to knock down Dr. Latoya. So after that, they get together to talk. How you doing? You doing good? Blah, blah, blah. So, the men talked about, we want you guys to move forward. Is there any path forward? Anything we can reconcile from? And so Kristina's thing is like, okay, she bringing up again how Dr. Latoya called her fake and manipulative and a liar and all that. And so Dr. Latoya's like, she don't remember saying none of that. They ran that reunion clip real quick. I was like, Dr. Latoya, you say it every time about the girl. How you not remember it? Kristina said she must have got amnesia, get knocked on the floor, because she must have. So anyway, so Kristina's like, you said all these things about me. Dr. Toya's like, I don't remember it, girl. Don't care. Don't matter. So then she's like, and then you gonna bring Kimberly over there to try to, get at me and all this stuff. And so she was like, I don't have to bring anyone to do anything. Like, she was like, let's go off of the reputation you have in Detroit. People in Detroit say you're manipulative. People in Detroit say you do this and you do that and you a liar and all that. And so Kristina's like, but who are they? And so who are the people that's saying it? And so Dr. Toya's like, they say it. That everybody say it. They say it. And so then she was like, it is what it is. I ain't got to, keep going back and forth with you. Nothing we could do. Girl, they said you is this and that, manipulative, liar, cheater, deceiver. So Kristina's like, okay, but who said it? Like, tell me who said it. You can't tell me who said it. She was like, because you used the same verbiage at the reunion that Kimberly used. So you talking about is they, you, Kimberly, and Kolby. Yes, it is. So then Kristina's like, see, the thing is, you dislike me over what some people said instead of my actually judging my experience with you or your experience with me and my character. And she's like, that's dead wrong. You can't tell me that's not dead wrong. And so then Kristina got to point her finger a little bit, but it wasn't like going real up into Dr. Latoya's face, but I could see where it was getting there. So Dr. Latoya's like, you better do something with that finger, girl. And Anthony tried to intervene. And so that's when Kristina's like, bro, I'm talking here. And Brandon was like, move them fingers back, girl. And that's pretty much where it ended. I'm ready for them to wrap up this part of this storyline. Like, if everybody's storyline is wrapped up in hating, oh, my clothes are done in the dryer. If everybody's storyline is going to be wrapped up in hating Kristina, at least for all the women, I don't want this. Okay, I'm just tell you right now, Carlos King, all people, I don't want this. Like, I'm gonna need to see more from Dr. Latoya in this wine, this champagne. Kimberly, girl, I don't know yet. Kolby, what else you doing besides being mad about not having a boy? Like, we're gonna have to do more. We're gonna have to do more. But like I said, this season is better than last season for sure. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments of this episode, this season so far. Do you like it better than last season? And what y'all think is going on with this whole hating Kristina thing? Y'all let me know in the comments. If I missed something, also put that in the comments. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.